Ladies and gentlemen from New York City, Cathal Crowley. Hey, welcome to New York. How you feeling? I mean, being over here in the U.S., close to MSG.
Yeah, feeling great. Staying here in the New Yorker, right across the road from MSG, where the fights are going down Sunday night. Over here supporting my gym mate Thomas Carty, who's going to bring the party, obviously, like he always does. Going to be a big statement win for him this weekend. And I'm also here to handle some of my own business. I want to fight the winner of Kevin Cronin and Brennan. I want to fight for that Irish title, which they're fighting for. I feel like I'm the best super middleweight in Ireland, so I feel like I deserve my shot. Cronin declined 2 fights with me last year, so hopefully with the backing of Tom Loeffler and Dana White, maybe we can get on another show, the next boxing show that they do, and get me versus Cronin on it, and maybe they might have to force his hand and get him to take the fight, because for some reason he's scared to fight me. So.
That's interesting. What do you think he is, avoiding you in this particular thing? I mean, eventually, if you say that you're ready for him.
I think that for him it might be too much risk, too little reward, because my name isn't big enough yet to match the risk, because he knows how much of a threat I am as a fighter. He probably knows that I'm better than him technically. He's a very good heart and determination, stamina and punch punch output. They're his strong attributes, and I feel like I match him in all those areas of the fight game, and I feel like I'm better than him technically everywhere else. So I think he might know that.
Hey, awesome to hear that you're not avoiding anybody in your weight class division. Eventually, right now over here in the U.S., I can tell you that there are so many in your weight class division. Who would you like to choose or challenge? I mean, in the future, that if it happens, an opportunity comes in your career.
Right now, as I'm only 6-0, I'm just kind of still in the building phases of my career. But I want to capture that Irish title, as I said. In my I'm fighting on the 12th of April, so hopefully we can get a deal arranged with the winner of the fight between Cronin and Brennan for my next fight after April 12th. And then after that, who knows? I feel like I have very good attributes that will stand me in good stead against anyone in the super middleweight division here in America, Ireland, England. It doesn't really matter to me where I fight. I have gloves and I will travel.
Hey, definitely you're ready for travel to eventually look in greatness in your career and trying to achieve as many goals and as many fights in your career, challenging maybe one day for a world title. That would be super awesome to see. Right now you just, coming in my mind, the UK is a big fight up there between ChrisEaubankJr. Jr. and ComorBen. What's your thoughts on it? I mean, rivalry, they said the two bad guys, now they're going to fight each other. What's your thoughts on these two professional boxers?
Right now, at the start when the fight was first originally made 2 years ago, I would have had Chris Eubank wiping him out. But as the build up and the hype is getting more and more, it's kind of becoming more 50-50. Probably still 60-40 in Chris Eubank's favour, in my opinion. Just I think with the size and the experience he has, even if he's not as good as he was before, I think it will still get him through the fight. Because ComorBen he's really a 147 pounder fighting at 160, 2 weight classes above his natural weight class, and he also hasn't fought anyone of world class, world level yet. And Eubank has fought. I know he's lost for all his world title fights, but he's been there, he's been competing, and he's been competitive. And I think that experience alone will get him the victory.
Awesome to see it, and because I believe for ComorBen, like reaching 160 division, and for Eubank Jr. that he's a natural 168 coming down in order to meet Ben, that's gonna be tough for Ben to bring anything against Chris Eubank Jr. You just mentioned, Chris Eubank Jr. fighting his whole time in live world championships, and not only that, he's champion also for a reason. So I think that makes very interesting, and I bet that they're gonna bring everything because they don't want to leave it to the judges. They don't want to see anything goes, off the hands of, between him and ComorBen. and hopefully that they settle down the rivalry between the dads and everything, because I think that everything started from the dads. So
Yeah, it's a legacy that their fathers have created for them, really, because if their dads didn't have those great fights back in the day, no one would be interested in this fight. Conor Ben, Chris Eubank. It's on paper, when it was originally made, it's a mismatch. But as I said, as it's kind of edging closer, and maybe the hype is interfering with my judgment, and that's why I think it's 60-40 to Eubank now, whereas at the start I was probably thinking 80-20 when it was originally announced. But yeah, they have their dads to thank for all the money that they're going to make for this fight, and they have a rematch clause as well, so we're going to see this fight twice. So the two boys better go thank their daddies and for all the money that they're going to make to set them up for the rest of their life.
Right. I can tell you that it's exciting to see these matches, because as we mentioned, in fight fans and everyone would love to see what outcome will be from these two fighters that probably they ready to settle down and see who was the best and who will be the winner on that night. And right now on your weight class division, it comes in my mind that one time, Canelo Alvarez, it was reigning on 160 division. Now it's 168, pound for pound best king. What's your thoughts when you hear Canelo Alvarez now continue facing other challenges that comes in his career? Eventually, right now, William Scull, the champion for a reason, facing Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah, I think Canelo's the face of boxing, really. For a long time, in my opinion, he took the reins over from Floyd Mayweather, and yeah, I think that he's going to continue his reign. I think that he'll more than likely beat William Scull, but again, you can't be looking over anyone. It's a potential banana skin, because I think they've already agreed the Crawford fight for afterwards with Turkey Al-Sheikh, so he'll have to stay on his A game, and I think he'll get the job done against William Scull. But yeah, it's an exciting time to be a super middleweight. Lots of exciting fights. Munguia's fighting as well on the undercard of Canelo versus Scull. David Benavidez moved up to light heavyweight. Maybe if he might be coming back down. He clearly can make the weight. He's a very exciting fighter. And New York area, you have Edgar Berlanga, who only lost to Canelo there recently. He's an exciting fighter. He's fighting tonight actually in Orlando. So we'll see how he gets on, and if he comes back strong, he can be right back up there again, fighting for world titles soon.
Hey, that'd be awesome too. Interesting, and see who will be the next opponent for Edgar Berlanga if he comes victorious tonight. I don't know if that's in your radar also. If he appears, because probably he's gonna be like trying to calling names and everyone, and eventually you're rising up and trying to make your name well known and conquer victories in your career. If it comes in your way, Edgar Berlanga, are you ready to face?
As of right now, I would say no. I'm in the building phases, as I said. Only 6 fights in, but as a fighter, if that opportunity came, I'd take it with both hands. But yeah, as a fighter, I'd take it with no problem. But with my manager's hat on, I would say that we'll win this Irish title first, and we'll move on to a European title, and then we'll see where Berlanga is then.
Yeah, of course.
In another year, we say, 18 months.
We'll see
what way the landscape of the division is, and we'll see where I am as well.
Exactly. You just mentioned Canelo Alvarez, David Benavidez. Do you think that probably Canelo Alvarez will move up to face probably David Benavidez, or David Benavidez will come down and meet Canelo Alvarez at 168 division? For David Benavidez, I think I find hard in order to come down to 168 division. That's, I don't know. I extremely see that cannot make weight, so he has to stay, up in light heavyweight. And I don't know if Canelo has done that with Dimitri Bivol and Kovalev. So we don't know if that will come in the mind of Canelo, because fight fans are still expecting David Benavidez against Canelo Alvarez. If in the future both of them they fight, how do you see the fight will go?
Well, I think that the longer that it takes for him to make the fight, the better chance Benavidez has, because he's only improving and Canelo is only getting older, so naturally he's only going to diminish. Not saying that he's diminishing right now, he's still world class, the best in the world. But I think the sooner they make the fight, the better. Just it's the fans, the fight fans want to see the fight, so the fight should get made now rather than waiting till either one of them's too old and there could be excuses made. One of them's too old, one of them might be weight trained. If the fight's going to happen, it should happen now. But in my opinion, I don't think it will happen. I think that Benavidez will probably stay at light heavyweight. If he gets a crack off Bivol, or maybe even better Biev, I think he has a good chance of beating either of those guys. And I think Canelo might just not. I don't think he'll go up to light heavyweight again. After what happened against Bivol, he's not big enough for that weight against a world-class skill fighter, and that's at that weight. I don't think he has the size, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, it's interesting because you just mentioned something that will be a little bit hard for Canelo Alvarez move up to light heavyweight, because even though Canelo has done that in the past, but I mean as power, as speed and everything can play a big fact, and also we don't know if age will be increasing or decreasing power of Canelo, so we don't know if we will see the best version of Canelo, or now it will be like that he don't really belong in that division. But eventually interesting topics that will come and eventually fights, and time will speak if that fight will happen. Hopefully it does, but as you mentioned, we probably never seen that fight. If it happens, if it doesn't, we'll probably be the winner. I mean, as a witnesses, to see two great fighters, Canelo Alvarez, David Benavidez, and eventually it's awesome to see these great fights. Any message that you would like to say to the fight fans and everyone that will tune in this interview, and of course supporting your career and everything that you do in your career?
Yeah, for anyone that's interested in following my career, my Instagram is Cathal Crowley 14. It's only going to be, I'm on an upward trajectory at the moment. Want to fight for title soon, and if you haven't heard of me yet, you'll hear of me soon.
Hey, definitely, we will stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, professional boxer Crowley with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.